Hello everyone, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to see two sections from TDS. It's a kind of a combination. One is 194Q and the other one is 206C 1H. Okay, both the sections talk about purchasing the goods in excess of 50 lakhs, and 206C talks about selling the goods. Okay, it is about buying and selling of goods, but from different perspectives. 194Q is from buyer's perspective and 206C1H is from seller's perspective, right? So in case of 194Q, at the time of buying, at the time of payment, the buyer actually deducts certain portion which is called as TDS. So under 206C1H, seller at the time of collecting the amount, he collects an additional amount which is called as TCS. So we will see what are the similarities between those two sections and what are the differences. Okay, so let's start. 194Q and 206C1H. Okay, so this is TDS and this is TCS section, and we will also do two questions so that it helps us to understand it better in a better way, and we are doing case scenarios actually. So let's try and understand first the concept and then we will apply that in the questions. Okay, so the TDS rate in both the cases is 0.1% and 0.1%. Okay, but in case if PAN is not provided, then in that case under TDS it becomes 5% if PAN is not provided, but here it becomes 1%. Okay, here also if PAN is not provided, then it becomes 1%. Okay, these are TDS rates. Okay, we are done with TDS rates. Now it says first thing that you need to see is in case whether that person, whether the previous year turnover is more than 10 crores or not. Okay, so you have to see if previous year turnover is more than 10 crores. Same here also, 10 crores. Previous year turnover should be more than 10 crores. Okay, first condition. Second one is the purchase and sales over the year in aggregate should be more than 50 lakhs. Okay, up until 50 lakhs no provision is up, these two provisions are not applicable, but if it is more than 50 lakhs only these provisions are applicable. Okay, now this TDS is deducted only on the excess amount. Okay, only on the excess part, that is up until 50 lakhs nothing, more than 50 lakhs this provision is applicable. So only on the excess part TDS shall be deducted. Simple, only on the excess part. Okay, now comes the time. At what time TDS has to be deducted, at what time TCS has to be deducted. So time is simple here. When the supplier's name is credited in the books of accounts or payment. Okay, whichever is earlier in case of TDS. But in case of TCS, no, it is very specific. It says that you have to deduct or you have to collect TCS only at the time of पेमेंट, बस पेमेंट के टाइम पे TCS भी कलेक्ट करना पड़ता, दैट इज अंडर TCS. बट TDS में अलग है, एट द टाइम ऑफ क्रेडिटिंग इन द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स और एट द टाइम ऑफ पेमेंट विच एवर इज अर्लियर. ठीक है, दैट डिफरेंस यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. सो हियर 10 crores same, 50 lakhs 50 lakhs same. So only on the excess part TDS or TCS provisions is applicable, that is same. But here at what time you will deduct, there is a difference. ये बोलता है कि credit or payment whichever is earlier, और ये बोलता है कि only at the time of payment. Okay, now this is done. Yes, TDS rates are also almost same, but remember here it becomes under TCS now it becomes only 1% and not 5%. Now we will see another point. Okay, okay, so one more point is that in case of TDS, if the business is commenced and like this is the first year of commencement of business, so in the previous year the turnover will become zero, that is nil. So as per the rule, previous year turnover should be more than 10 crores, only then TDS provisions will apply. So in case if this is your first year, right, so in that case TDS provisions are not applicable. So 194Q is not applicable in case if this is your first year of commencement. Okay, then you will have to see whether TCS is applicable in that case from seller's point of view. Okay, so if this is your first year, then TDS provisions are not applicable. Okay, so even that point is clear. Now we will see one question from this is one mock test paper. The question is regarding uh, 194Q, right? So just read this first paragraph. Okay, yeah, just read this first paragraph. Mr. Abhay, a resident Indian, is in retail business in Delhi. Okay, and his turnover for the previous year is 9.8, though which is less than 10 crores. First point, he regularly purchases goods, so he is a purchaser. Abhay is a purchaser. ABHAY. Okay, he is a purchaser. Mr. Kunal, a wholesale in Delhi, and the aggregate payments made by Mr. Abhay to Kunal during the financial year is 90 lakhs. Okay, Abhay Kunal, he is a seller. Okay, his turnover is 9.8 crores. 194Q not applicable since it is less than 10 crores. Now we will see from Kunal's point of view. He has sold more than 50 lakhs. Okay, here it is 90 lakhs in aggregate, and Kunal's turnover in the previous year is 13.5. मतलब उसका previous year turnover is more than 10 crores. मतलब TCS provisions are applicable. Okay, so let's see what is the question. Okay, यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन देखे तो पूछता है कि आर प्रोविजंस ऑफ TDS applicable. Okay, are provisions of TDS under the Income Tax Act attract in respect of purchase and sales between Abhay and Kunal? If so, what is the quantum of tax to be deducted? TDS TCS provisions applicable होते कि नहीं? ठीक है, तो we have clearly said that Abhay के लिए ना TDS provisions are not applicable. Abhay का because his previous year turnover is less than 10 crores. Okay, so TDS is not applicable, but TCS is applicable. Okay, we will go down and see the options. No, TDS and TCS provisions are not attracted. No, cancel. TCS provisions are applicable. Yes, Abhay has to deduct tax 0.1 of 40 lakhs. Who is Abhay? Abhay is a purchaser. So, no. Kunal, yes, he needs to collect tax 0.1%. That is, so sale kara 90 lakhs. So, TCS is applicable only on the excess part. So, 90 minus 50, which is 40 lakhs. Okay. So, here it is 40 lakhs. I think the answer should be C. Okay, we will see what is the second question. What if the failure to furnish the pan by the deductee as required? So यहाँ पे ना TDS applicable होता है नहीं, TCS applicable, TCS apply होता है. TCS का rate आता है 0.1%. Okay, in case if pan is not provided, then that will become 1%. Okay, so the answer is D. Okay, I hope this is clear now. Now let's see the other question. Okay, now we will go back to our case scenario. Okay, so this is the case scenario. Okay, just read this. Mr. Sunil, Sriram and Sham, three brothers are there who are independent retail trade in Pune, Thane and Nagpur. Okay, fine. The turnover in financial year is 9 crores, 10 crores and 12 crores. So only in excess of 10 crores only TDS is applicable. Okay. Now here it is clear that 9 crores gaya, 10 crores gaya. Okay. For these two TDS though it is not applicable. Only for 12 crores, that is for Sham, TDS is applicable. Okay, let's see further. They are therefore regularly purchasing food grains from another resident, Mr. Ashwath. So Mr. Ashwath जो है ये seller है, ठीक है? This fellow is a seller, ठीक है? So wholesale and the turnover of Ashwath is more than 10 crores. So which is 18 crores. मतलब उसका his turnover is more than 10 crores. Okay, so for Ashwath, no, TCS provisions are completely applicable, but for those three parties, for only Sham, TDS provisions are applicable. What if both the provisions are applicable for one transaction? Then TDS provisions will prevail. Remember that. Okay, only TDS shall be deducted, TCS won't be deducted in that case. Let's see. They follow mercantile accounting. बस we will just see the question. Question में क्या पूछा पहले वो देख लेंगे. Are the provisions of TDS under the income tax attracted in respect of purchase transaction with Mr. Ashwath? If so, and at what rate and at what point of time? Ignore one-time transaction of Mr. Sunil's friend. Okay, this Sunil's friend will come next in the next para. But for the first para, is asking whether TDS provisions are applicable or not. So as we clearly saw, first, Sunil and Sriram, no, TDS provisions are not applicable because his turnover is less than 10 crores. Okay, 9 and 10 crores. So it should, even if it is 10 crores, TDS is not applicable. Only excess amount only it is applicable. Even if the aggregate purchase is 50 lakhs, TDS is not applicable. Only in excess of 50 lakhs, TDS is applicable. Clear, right? So here, sham related, which is more than 10 crores, right? So there TDS is applicable, but here if you see, no, all the purchases are more than 50 lakhs. You should also consider this. Previous year turnover bhi dekhna, and then current year purchases are 50 lakhs or not. So in this question they have given in the month wise what all purchases have been made. Okay, so for all the three parties, if you total it up, it is more than 50 lakhs. But the question is whether TDS is applicable or TCS is applicable. Okay, so for the first two, right, TCS will apply. For the third one, TDS will apply. See, TDS, TCS, both are applicable to one party, then TDS will prevail. Okay, we will see the options now. Okay, Mr. Sriram and Sham are liable to deduct. Mr. Sriram and Sham, who are those two? Mr. Sriram and Sham, okay, are liable to deduct tax at source at 1%. No, this Sriram is not liable to deduct taxes. So first option is wrong. Mr. Sriram and Sham are liable to deduct tax at source. Sriram and Sham again are liable to deduct. So this is also wrong. Okay. Because in this case, no, for Sham, no, TDS is applicable. Okay. Mr. Sham is liable to deduct tax at source 0.1% on the amount of purchase. So Mr. Sham is liable to deduct tax at the rate 1% on the amount of each purchase. So the answer should be C. Okay. Because Sham is liable to deduct tax at source 0.1% भी करेक्ट है. तो अगर अपन ये अमाउंट्स पूरे ऐड करते गए ना शाम का, so what is the date? He is saying from 31st 10, that is from 1st October, no, till here, like till here it will cross 50 lakhs. It should cross 50 lakhs. So let's add each and every transaction for Sham. So this one we are doing 9.8 plus 8.75 plus 9.45 plus 6.8 plus 6.3. Okay, till here it is 41.1 lakhs, 41.1 lakhs plus 8.15, which comes to 49.25. Okay, so in the month of October, no, it is 7.8. Okay, 3110 onwards, from 3110 2022 onwards. Okay, let's see the answer. First one answer is C. Okay, so you just need to add all the amounts and see by what time it is crossing 50 lakhs. So TCS or TDS will apply only on the excess part. Okay, up until 50 lakhs, no TDS or TCS. From 50 lakhs, these provisions will apply, and TDS or TCS shall be deducted only on the excess part. Okay, now we will see the second question. Okay, so what is the second question say? Are the provisions of TCS under the Income Tax Act 1961 attract in respect of sale transactions affected by Mr. Ashwath? If so, to whom does he is asking from seller's point of view whether TCS provisions are applicable or not. So here in the first question we saw the TDS provisions from Sham's point of view. Okay, now we will see from Ashwath's point of view, because Ashwath ka previous year turnover is more than 10 crores, which is 18 crores, and then he is also selling more than 50 lakhs to these two parties, Sunil and Sriram. Okay, so in that case, no, when he's collecting the amount from them, he should also collect TCS ka charges. Okay, in case of Sunil and Sriram. So we will see the options. Yes, Ashwath has to collect TCS from Sunil and Mr. Sriram. One, no, it should be 0.1 percentage. Okay, so Ashwath has to collect Mr. 0.1% exceeding process. So this one makes sense. So just like that, if we add all the amounts, no, so we will get to a point where the amount is crossing 50 lakhs. Okay, so from that month onwards, TCS provision shall apply. Okay, so the date comes, if you add, the date comes to 31/12 and 31/11, 30/11 for those two, both for those two parties. Okay, now this third scenario is what would be applicable rate of TDS if Ashwath fails to furnish man to deductor. So we have already revised that before. I'll just go up. So here, if you see, in case if under 194Q, where is that? Yeah. So under 194Q, if you see, in case if PAN is not provided, then that will become 5%. Here, if PAN is not provided, then it becomes 1% in case of TCS. So just we will see the options. यहाँ पे 5 and 1%. So answer is B. Okay. See, answer is B. Now then the last question, if you see what would be the TDS and TCS implication in respect of a single purchase transaction by Mr. Krishna from Mr. Ashwath. ठीक है, so now we will just go to the question where that transaction is there. So I'll zoom in. So just read this part. So Mr. Sunil's friend Mr. Krishna who commenced retail business in April. ठीक है, इसका बिजनेस कमेंस हो रहा है अप्रैल 2022 में, मतलब प्रीवियस ईयर बिजनेस नहीं था. So entered into a one-time transaction with Mr. Ashwath and purchased goods. So जो सुनील का friend Mr. Krishna है, he is purchasing goods from Ashwath. Okay, Ashwath is a seller and Krishna is a buyer. ठीक है, so from buyer's point of view 194Q देखना पड़ता है. So 194Q says that in case if previous year, if the business is commenced in the current year, previous year turnover will be nil, then in that case 194Q is not applicable. ठीक है, तो कृष्णा का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से नहीं देखना, अभी अश्वथ के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखना. अश्वथ का प्रीवियस ईयर टर्नओवर इज 18 crores विच वी ऑलरेडी सॉ, विच इज़ मोर देन 10 crores एंड ही इज ऑल्सो सेलिंग अमाउंट विच इज़ मोर देन 50 lakhs. ठीक है, तो इन दिस केस अश्वथ इज अ सेलर, नो, TCS shall apply in this case. So TCS will apply only on the excess part, that is 60 minus 50. Only on that excess 10 lakhs, no, TCS shall apply at the rate 0.1%. Okay, now we will go down and see what exactly that question is asking. Single transaction in respect of Mr. Krishna and Mr. Ashwath. ठीक है, so Mr. Ashwath, Mr. Krishna has to deduct tax, not Krishna has to deduct gone. Ashwath has to collect tax at source on 36. So here they're specifying the dates. If you see the question, no, in that question they clearly saying that so if you see, he has credited in the books of accounts on 30th June. Okay, and then he received the amount on 2nd July. We are talking about TCS. TCS में क्या है, only at the time of payment you have to collect TCS. So here payment is done on 2nd July. So even TCS will also be deducted on 2nd July. Okay, but in TDS it's not like that. In TDS, no, if it is crediting the supplier or payment, whichever is earlier, we have done that before also. Okay, so here in this case, now it is 22nd July. The answer should be D. We'll say the answer. So the answer is D. Perfect. So I think we should be comfortable, like no matter how ICA asks the questions now, we should not get confused in 194Q and 261H, right? Thank you so much. In case if this video was helpful for you guys, please do share it with your friends and please do like, and that keeps me motivated to make more videos like this. Thank you so much. Let's go.